Good afternoon. The second grade Wranglers would like to welcome you to the annual Young Writers Program.
Please sit back and enjoy all of our own wonderful narratives. Let the show begin.
Birthday Party by Jake. This book is dedicated to my mom and dad because I love them both. It was a sunny day. I was outside looking at the sun. Someone was honking at me. It was a loud honk. It was Aunt Chris, Cody, and Mitch. They walked into my front door. They brought some lasagna and chocolate ice cream. I thought that looked yummy. I wanted some of it. My mom thought it looked so good too. I was still outside waiting for more people to come. I was so surprised when Mimi and Papa came. I hugged them so much because I really love them. Then my brother Jet popped out and ran to them and hugged them. Then Jet wouldn't let go of Mimi and Papa. Dad said, "Let go." We went into the house and started to cook more food because it was getting close to dinner time. We made sloppy joes and lots of other good food. I smelled something good. It was the grease from the meat cooking. Yeah! Suddenly my dad yelled. The sloppy joes were done. Then we went to the table to eat our sloppy joes. They were really good. We also had hot dogs. Someone bit into their hot dog and juice squirted out on the floor. They were really juicy. My cousin Cody thought the hot dog tasted really good. Finally, dinner was done. I was waiting for Mom and Dad to bring out the delicious cake. The cake had lots of frosting. The frosting was lime green, and the cake had drums on the top. The drums were sugar. They were really sweet. After we were done with the cake, everybody went home because it was done and I was sad. But Papa Joe was late and he snuck in and got a piece of cake. I said, "Hey, I caught you." Papa Joe said, "I just wanted a piece of cake." Papa Joe left, but there was still one piece for me. I was getting tired, so I went to bed. It was a wonderful day.
The Greatest Play Ever by Mia. This book is dedicated to my mom and dad for helping me. I was at Disney World and my mom told me to put some nice clothes on so I could go to a play. I said, "We're going to a play." "Oh, yeah." I thought about wearing the prettiest clothes there. I was also thinking about the play. I thought, is there going to be princesses? My mom said, "I can't tell you, but it's going to be a great play, though." I started to put my clothes on. I put on a pink dress with white flowers on it. I put my hair into a ponytail, then I put on my shoes. I put on my white ones. "I look pretty," I said as I twirled around the room. "Can we go yet?" I asked. I was so bored that I tried to feel the earth rotate. After a while, I started to sleep, but just then I remembered I have to stay awake to go to the play. I told my mom, "It has been 1,000,000 years. Can we go yet?" My mom said yes. I ran out the door and went to the elevator. Mom and Dad both ran after me and said, "Don't run, Mia." Then the elevator door opened and they jumped right in as fast as a tiger trying to get its food. When we got to the main floor, I had to walk with my dad because he told me to so I wouldn't run. We walked because it was so nice outside. When we got to the play, I put in a pair of 3D glasses. Then we made a complete stop. A person gave me a paper with everyone's name on it. Mom told me to pick a spot to sit in before the play started. We all said front row seats just when the play started. The lights grew darker and darker and darker. Just then, all of a sudden, I saw Mickey Mouse with a big hat on that looked like a party hat. I said, it had white stars and moons. I thought that was funny because the moons looked like bananas and the stars looked like strawberries. In the play, Mickey was teaching the instrument to Saul. All of a sudden, Donald started to dance. The instruments threw him in the water. I thought that was the greatest play ever.
This book is dedicated to Dad because you took me upstairs. Have you ever had a fun time with your family? If you did, I had a better one. It was Christmas morning. Nobody was up but me. I am sneaking down the stairs. Bang! All of a sudden, I'm being tackled by my brother. Shh! I'm trying to find St. Nick. After the big commotion, my dad comes down and says, "Get back to bed." Of course, it was early in the morning. He took us upstairs, and then I say I'm too young to be taken hostage. After that, my brother kicks him in the back. Then me and my brother and I make a run to the kitchen. We see cinnamon rolls on the table. I look in the living room. The ornament star stands right on the tree. My dad took us upstairs for good. I left my brother upstairs and snuck downstairs to count presents. Then my little sister, little brother, and Mom and Dad come down. Then I yelled, "Happy Christmas." So tell me, did you have a better time?
Lake Michigan Fun by Sadie. This book is dedicated to my family because they made and planned the fun trip to Lake Michigan. Have you been to Lake Michigan? Last summer, I went to Lake Michigan with my family. When we got to the beach, we met 3 new friends. Their names were Sophia, Andrew, and Ethan. We had a fun time with them. My sister Cora, Sophia, Andrew, and I made a little ditch made out of sand. The sand was kind of rocky. It felt like I was climbing up a rocky mountain barefooted. We wanted to make a slide and then put water in it. Once we made the ditch, we made the slide. We had to use wet sand so it could stick together. Once we patted the sand to make the slide, we went to the lake and got a bunch of buckets full of water. When it came time to slide, it felt like I was glued to the sand because I could hardly move. I had to push myself into the water. We were all very hot because it took a long time to build the ditch. We also were entertained because there was so much to do. Suddenly I said, "What should we do next?" Everybody said, "Surfing." So I went to go surf with my cousins Rowan and Henry. We went surfing on the waves, except I was scared. I thought I was going to fall off. Once I hit the first wave, it felt like I was an ice cube in the freezer because the water was so cold. Suddenly I fell off. I said to myself, I knew I would fall off, but I got back up and kept on trying. The second time I tried, I kept thinking I could do it. When I got on my boogie board, I kept thinking the same thing, and then I saw the first wave. I was very nervous, but I did it anyway. I started out with a little wave. I succeeded it. Unfortunately, it was time for the big one. I was scared enough that it felt like I was going to jump off a cliff. When the wave came, it felt like I was going to fall off again, but I didn't. I couldn't believe it. I was so excited I wanted to do it over and over again, except I couldn't because my sister talked me out of it. I hope I will be able to go back again next year and surf.
The Shopping Trip by Zana May. This book is dedicated to my cousin Anthony because he helped me with multiplication. It was a hot summer day. I was over at my cousin's house. I decided to go to the mall, so Haley, Anthony, and Capria and I got dressed. I kept stepping on my pants when I was getting dressed. I was frustrated. I got my shirt on, I got my socks and shoes on. Then we got in the car. Haley started driving. The ride was really bumpy. It felt like we were riding over huge rocks. When we got to the mall, we separated. I went to the shoe store. After a while, I went on the elevator. When I got off the elevator, I saw this ruby dress. I ran to Haley. We checked the size. It was my size, 10. So Haley bought the dress for me. Anthony bought new shoes. Capria got a volleyball, and Haley got a swimming suit. After everybody got something, me and Anthony went on the merry-go-round. Then we went home. We had a good shopping trip.
The St. Patrick's Day Parade by Sydney. This book is dedicated to my mom because she is special to me. Once I had the greatest day in my life. I got to go to the St. Patrick's Day Parade. First we got ready for the parade. Then we got into the car and drove to the downtown parade. When we got there, we had to walk a little ways until we got to the parade. While we were walking, there was a stoplight, so we had to look both ways before we crossed. When we were close to the parade route, we had to find a spot to stand. It was hard to find a spot to stand because there were so many people. First, we had to see if there was a spot to stand, but there was not, so we had to keep walking and looking for a spot. Suddenly, we saw a spot to stand, so we went to stand there. When the parade started, I was so excited. I saw some trucks come down the street, but right before the trucks came, a policeman came and said, "Stand back so we don't get hit." Then trucks drove down the street, and the people in the trucks were throwing candy. I ran out and got some candy and put it in my bag. The candy looked yummy. While the trucks went by, there was really loud music. After the trucks went by, I noticed a piece of candy on the street. I ran to get it. I went speedy fast. I was so scared to get it because I thought I would get hit. The piece of candy looked so good that I ate it instead of putting it in my bag. It was really good. More trucks came and gave us candy. I was so happy. I just wanted all the candy. I also saw some people dressed up as cartoon characters, and they were handing out candy. Finally, the last thing came down the street. They were people on bikes, and they were riding around. I hope next year we can go there again.
A Wonderful Time at Mia's House by Hannah. This book is dedicated to Mia because I was at her house when this happened. One dull and windy morning, I went to Mia's house. Mia, Megan, Grace, Lily, Molly, and I ran as swift as a speeding cheetah running down to Mia's basement. First, we had to go through the kitchen, and it had a white and slippery floor. You could only hear wind because we were running so fast. We got to the brown basement door. Mia opened the circular handle. Then Mia, Megan, Grace, Lily, Molly, and I walked down the light brown fuzzy stairs. When the stairs met the floor, it got slick and wooden. Then Mia, Megan, Grace, Lily, Molly, and I went to the left where there was a white cozy couch that looked like a backwards L. We finally got to the fuzzy brown carpet as if it felt like a huge marshmallow on our feet. I stood there and yelled, "Let's play tag, Mia's it." We all went through a door just like the door to the basement. The door was open like it was waiting for us to go through. The slick wooden floor turned into a concrete gray floor. First Megan went, and then Grace, Lily, Molly, and I.
We all found it was the laundry room because it had a washer. We got colder and colder because we were in the basement. We all hid under the clean clothes on the white top of the counter because we didn't want Mia to get us. Mia came in because we left the door open. She saw Lily and touched her and said, "Tag here." We all came out and it turned to the slick wooden floor again. We declared not to play tag anymore. Then I said, "Let's go eat breakfast." We headed to the kitchen. We stood on the white tile floor and we could smell all the food. I could smell pancakes baking. I could tell the pancakes were going to be good. We ran as fast as a fox to the table. We finally got to the big table and chairs and climbed up. I was feeling very hungry. Megan, Grace, and Lily had to sit in the other room because there were only 3 chairs. We got our plates full of food. The plates had pancakes, omelets, Lucky Charms, and sausages. We ate it as fast as a monkey eating bananas because we were very hungry. I was full from eating so much food. We finally were finished with our food. After that, Lily, Grace, and I got to the top of the stairs and went into Aurora's room. The wall turned into a blue color. Lily and I hopped onto the soft bed. Grace stood on the wooden floor. I declared to play leprechaun. I said I need my gold like a leprechaun. Grace and Lily acted like leprechauns too. They were saying stuff like, "I need to find a rainbow," or "I have a lot of gold." Finally, all my friends and I played for the rest of the day. I had a wonderful time at Mia's house. I can't wait to go again.
A fun water balloon fight by Angel. This book is dedicated to my family because I had the water balloon fight with my family. Something funny happened one hot summer day. My friends and I had a water balloon fight in my backyard. First, we filled up the water balloons with the water from my sink. After that, we went outside with the balloons. Then we looked for a good hiding spot. While we was looking for a spot, I was running on the side of my house. My friend was behind me and hit me with a water balloon. It was very cold. Finally, I found a hiding spot. I was hiding behind the tree. My brother ran past me while I was hiding. My friend tried to hit my brother, but it hit me instead. It hit me right on my head. It was very cold when the water ran down my face. It was funny. Then we all stopped to eat lunch. After lunch, we got back to our water balloon fight. In the end, I hit my brother and my friend with a water balloon for hitting me with 3 water balloons. We started laughing. It was funny too. After our water balloon fight, we had to dry off. We had a great time playing the water balloon fight. The end.
Horseback Riding Fun by Peyton. This book is dedicated to my family that loves me. My mom and I were in Lake of the Ozarks and we decided to go horseback riding and I was excited. My mom and I were standing in pure dust surrounded by fences that were rusty and bumpy. I looked straight ahead of me and saw 10, 11, 12 horses that I couldn't count. I whispered to my mom, "I want that one with light brown fur." There were other people there with us. These 2 ladies came over. They introduced themselves. Their names were Emily and Renee. All these people walked over to the horses. I saw the dirt flinging in the air when we walked. I jumped on a dirty brown horse named Rusty. My mom got on a rusty red horse named Red. Then we finally went into the woods. I was riding behind Emily. When we were horseback riding, there were trees leaning in every direction. The leaves were leafy green. As we went along the trail, I could feel the cool breeze whipping through my hair. I mentioned. I saw the horse put its head down and eat the leaves. Munch, munch, munch. Oh no, I thought. I had to
pull the reins back because I didn't want it to eat the leaves. Clump, clump, clump. That was my horse trotting. All of the people kept on going down the trail. Suddenly we came to a busy street. The cars were zooming past like race cars. Finally we started to go across the street because it was all clear. I was imagining that it was dirt on the trail. There were trees with rusty leaves with high hills. When we got to the other side, we had to go up a hill. I was so nervous because I thought I was going to fall off. Before we were getting on the horses, I thought they said, when we go up a hill, lean forward, so I did. I felt like I was going to fall off when I leaned forward. When we were going down the hill, I wasn't so nervous anymore. We had to turn around, but I didn't notice it until we got back to the street. This time, the cars were not that fast. When we got to the other side, Emily pointed to the right. Everyone's heads jerked to the right. It was a deer. It was a white-tailed deer. As we waited, it leaped away. As we were riding, we came to a dog park. The dogs were so cute. I wish I could have them all. As we passed, there were even more dogs. I could hear them barking away. When we got out of the dog park, I peeked through the trees. I could see a barn with paint peeling off. I wondered, what is that? Oh yeah, it's a shed. When we turned a curve, it led into the shed. When we exited the shed, we got into the dirt. We let our horses go wherever, but I was still on my horse. My horse just walked around. Other people's horses went to a big bowl of water. After the horses went to this big piece of wood called the hitching rail. Emily and Renee got off their horses and tied the ropes on the horses to the hitching rail. I had a wonderful time horseback riding, and I'd like to go again.
Our New Cat by Ethan. This book is dedicated to my mom because I love her. One of the greatest days in my life in 2009 was the day that we got our new cat. My mom called the owners to let them know that we were going to pick up a new cat. I was ecstatic. My mom said yes, we are going to get our new cat because he did not have a cat at that time. As Mom and I climbed in our hot car on that summer day, it felt like we were getting into a big oven. It was a long drive. As we were driving, I wondered if there would be short hair or long hair. I wiped the sweat off me every 5 minutes. When we got to my mom's friend home, they had so much land, it was like a cornfield. When we got to the home, we went to the cat room and we got the cat. It was a big cat. I said that it will be called Bella. When we put the cat in the cage, we said bye. It was a long drive home, and I was so happy. I felt that Bella was going to feel as lucky as to have us as we were to have her.
A Great Day at a Swimming Party by Trayvon. This book is dedicated to my mom and dad for loving me and taking me places. One hot summer day, my mom, dad, Zane, Russell, aunts, uncles, and cousins and I went to the memorial swimming pool for a birthday party. I was excited. When we first got there, we went to the pavilion to eat the food everyone brought. It was delicious. Next, I decided to go to the pool. Decided to go swimming in the swimming pool. I raced to the swimming pool. I saw lots of people swimming and talking in the swimming pool. Soon I did a cannonball in the swimming pool. The water was warm. After a while, I swam to my dad. I had fun, lots of fun. My dad was in the 4 feet water at the edge. After a while, I was still swimming. Suddenly, my dad said, "Come on, it's time to go." So we dried off and finally said bye to everyone. And we left with our swimming trunks on. We had a great time at the swimming party. The end.
My Birthday Party by Aisha. This book is dedicated to my mom because she loves me.
Wow, when it was my birthday, I had a birthday party. My birthday was February 1st, 2005. When I woke up, I was excited because it was my birthday party. My mom had my Minnie Mouse tutu on the couch so I could wear it to my birthday party. I put it on and I looked in the mirror. I turned around to see the back of my outfit. I think you look so cute. Then my mom said, let's do your hair, Aisha. My mom combed my hair. I was ready for my party. At my party, we had ice cream and cake. My mom put ice cream and cake in a bowl and mixed it up. It was great. My friends liked it, the cake too. After that, my friends and I played with my play dishes. We also danced to music. That was fun. After my friends had to go home, it was a fun birthday party.
The Three Big Rides by Kyle. This book is dedicated to my whole family because I know they would all want to read this. One time I went to Six Flags. I will tell you three rides I went on. The first ride is the tornado. I had to go up the stairs in a line, which was very boring. I finally got to the top. I got on the raft. I was so excited. When I went on that ride, that smile turned into an ah! Because he were about 100 feet up, almost upside down. It's more scary than you think. Next ride is... I don't really know the name, but I had to walk there in a line on a long staircase. I finally got to the top. I got on the big raft. Water splashed on my head. My parents laughed. Splish, sploosh, splash. It was crazy. I stayed the last one for the best one. The last ride for the best one. It's, Mine Train. It was a short line. I had to wait in. I didn't expect that because last time it was very long. I got on the ride. I was super duper excited. It was very fast. Up, down, left, right, until the dark tunnel. My back went back, my head went back, I barely held on. Here's where I said, ah! A few seconds later, the ride was over. That was the Three Big Rides. The end.
The Cutest Puppy by Michaela. This book is dedicated to my Aunt Taylor because she let me send my flat to her. Have you ever gotten new puppies? Well, I have, and it was so much fun. On a hot summer Friday, my mom, dad, brother, sister, and I went on a trip to Taylorville. My brother and I were surveying this one little puppy with only 3 paws. She was in the yard with all 7 others. My brother and I scurried to that one little puppy because she wanted a drink. She couldn't get a drink because she was having trouble getting up on the blood-red brick that was holding the bucket up that had ice-cold water in it. When my brother and I saw that puppy, we were running as fast as a gazelle trying to get away from a predator. The wind was zooming across our face. We hurried in the gate that she was kept in and took her by the black furry paw and lifted her up so she could get a drink. All at once she hopped down off the blood-red brick. After that she laid in a deep mud hole. She was yawning and moaning like an angry group of tigers. In a snap she was sawing logs. She took a peaceful nap and woke up. I got up too after I sat laying still while she took a nap. The next thing I knew, there was an overgrown puppy elephant. It felt like I was holding 1,000 pounds of weight. I lifted the fat fur ball up and shoved its foot in the mud. I went over and suddenly shouted at my cousins, "Who is this and why is he so fat?" My cousins did not reply. I took the fat fur ball and put it on its dad's back. It was riding its dad like a jockey. The dad felt the fur ball on his back. He took the puppy by its extra fur on its neck and put it on the ground and started wrestling it. I went back in the fence where the 3-pawed puppy was. I took her out of the muddy fence. I took her to the rusted brown playset where my brother and Joby were playing. After a while, we got off the rusted brown playset and started chasing each other. She bit my ankle a few times. It felt like a big fat bee sting that would go all the way through your leg. After a while, my mom picked out 2 puppies, which was a puppy with nothing wrong and a very fat puppy. We picked up a huge bucket of dog food that we all packed in the car. We zoomed away. We were in no sight of the puppies anymore. I hope we could go see them again. Love, Michaela.
A Great Day at My Auntie's by Diamond. This book is dedicated to my auntie because she let me go to her house. One day I was so happy I get to go visit my aunt Des. Soon came the big day I got to go visit her. It was on one sunny day in the fall. My aunt Des picked me up in her black car. Then she picked up my cousin. Next we drove to my aunt's house. As I walked inside the house, I was excited. When we went into the house, we said hi to my grandpa. He was downstairs watching TV. Then we went to go say hi to my grandma, and she was laying down on her bed. After we went to say hi to Grandpa and Grandma, we went in my aunt's room to watch TV. We watched SpongeBob, then we watched the Disney Channel. While we were watching TV, my cousin and I smelled steak. The smell was coming from the kitchen. Then we heard Dad saying, "It's time to eat." We ran into the kitchen. We saw big steak. When we were eating it, it tasted yummy and juicy. After we ate, we got something to drink. We had some refreshing juice. After we drank our juice, we went downstairs to go see what my grandpa was watching. After a while, we went back upstairs to check on my grandma, so she was okay, and she was still watching TV. We went back to watch TV. After a while, we got tired of watching TV, so we came out of my aunt's room into the front room, and we started playing with the marbles. We were throwing the marbles up in the air trying to catch them. The marbles fell hard. We had fun throwing the marbles up in the air. Then we went back into my aunt's room to jump on the bed. While we were jumping on the bed, it was bumpy and fun. It bounced me up and down. After we jumped on the bed, Dad told us to come here. She told us to put on our pajamas. I put on my pajamas first, then my cousin went to go put on his pajamas. Last, we went to sleep. When we got up, we ate a great breakfast. After breakfast, Aunt Des told us to put on our clothes because it was time to go home. I had a great day at my aunt's house.
Not in Our Sleep by Luke. This book is dedicated to my grandparents because if they were not alive, I would not be able to write this story. It was one of those hot humid nights in the summer. My cousins Cole, Emma, Luke, and my sister Hannah and I were walking inside, exhausted from playing after dinner. We were hot and sweaty. It seems like we were running from a volcano that was about to blow its top off because of all the sweat falling off our faces. I thought it just rained in the kitchen. We were all tired, so I just suggested to go to bed, but everybody yelled, "No!" The yell was loud and echoed throughout the house. I was also thinking in my head, did I just lose my eardrums? But we made a deal that TV for 30 minutes because it was 8:30 and we go to bed at 9 o'clock on weekends. We ran to the room we called the fluffy room because there's 4 things that are soft to lay on. Once you lay down, booyah, you were out like a light. As we were running into the fluffy room, all we could hear was the wind going to our ears like a giant rock fell in front of us. We could feel the wind flying off our faces. We slipped on our pajamas
I was wearing pajamas with bears and sunglasses. We just dashed swiftly like cheetahs to the basement, stairs slipping and sliding. We did our fun way of getting down the stairs. We slid on our bellies down the stairs. Once we got downstairs, we decided what order everybody will sleep in. First on the air mattress was me, second my cousin Luke, and third my cousin Cole. One on the ground laid Hannah and Emma. I grabbed the remote and clicked the power button. The TV flickered on. We decided to watch Channel 25 Nickelodeon. After we watched 2 SpongeBob shows, it was time for bed. I hit the power button and the TV flickered back off. We went to bed after a tiring day. It was 6:23 a.m. and I was awake because I am an early riser. I noticed that the thing I was laying on was hard and I felt stiff. Ooh, ooh, was the sound I made as I tried to get off the mattress to turn on the lights. I could not move a muscle but breathe. There was a slit of light coming in the tiny window, just able for me to see hands and feet on my body. I exaggerated. Everybody, wake up, something has happened overnight. All I heard was yawns in the air. Everybody was trying to move, but they could not. Everybody could see that we were in a knot. This is a time where there's knots in your sleep. We called to our grandparents. Papa, Grandma, come downstairs. After we called for the 5th time, we heard footsteps. Crump, 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 crump. Soon enough, the lights flickered on. Once we saw what happened, we yelled, "Oh my gosh." We all gasped. Now we could definitely see that we were in a knot. We were curled in many ways. We were very tight. It was just a mess. Papa pushed and pulled until everybody was out. At the time everybody was out, Grandma and Papa asked, "What happened?" We answered that there was a hole in the air mattress, and once we started to roll on top of each other, My grandparents began to laugh. We all laughed until our sides hurt and it seemed like we needed dentures. As we were walking upstairs, I said, "It was a time when there's knots in your sleep."
A Fun Day at the Park by Sarff. This book is dedicated to my dad and mom because they helped me. Hey Dad, can I go to the lake? It was a hot day. My dad and I walked to the lake together. When I got there, I noticed it was hard to walk on because it was lumpy. I found a big rock on the ground and sat on it. I started to slip because the rock was wet. I was throwing rocks on the ground. It was hard to pick up because some of the rocks were under the dirt. I picked the rocks that were on top of the dirt. A helicopter came and my dad shouted, "Stop throwing rocks." Then a helicopter passed by and my dad said, "Now you can throw rocks." My dad threw a rock, it bounced in the water, then it sank. After that, I took pictures with my whole family. I sweated because it was hot. My dad and I walked a little to the right because we saw some fish. My dad said it's getting late, so we had to go home. I had a good day at the lake.
Disney by Adam. This book is dedicated to my dad because he is very caring and loving. I did something worth doing, but I thought it wasn't. I went to Disney World. My parents woke me up by rolling me off my bed. I asked in a whisper, "What time is it?" My dad said about 2 in the morning. We were on our way to the airport to get to Disney World. It took 4 hours and 1 minute to get through the terminal. Then I got to Disney World. We checked in, left our suitcases at the room. I got to see the Whispering Canyons restaurant with my family and mom and dad. The night had fallen. The next day I went to Epcot and saw a fish that was shaped like an engine, but it wasn't an engine. I thought it was weird because it had a shell that was shaped like a wheel. The night had fallen and I got to exploring the room with my pajamas on. I did not know what the room looked like. The next day I went on a ride that brought me to a gift shop that was in Nemo's world. I thought that was where I bought a stuffed animal named Bruce. I thought it was a shark. I said whoa about 1,000 times because there were so many cool things to look at. After that, I went on a fascinating ride that we typed in our name into a computer. Then we selected a picture to be seen in the future. The future was so awesome, and it showed a picture of my family and I in the future. Suddenly, I saw a ride that looked so fun, so I went on it. On the ride, I was in a car that had 2 blast rings with a lever that had said spin on it. I pulled the lever to the left while shooting my blaster, and it was so fun. I let out a really big whoop of fun. Yee-haw! Before I knew it, my car was at Zerg. Next, I was in space shooting a one-eyed sea star that was animated. I got off and went to Expedition Everest, which was cold. The funny thing was I wore sleeve shirt because I was in Florida where it's hot. I did not like the ride, and I was so disappointed that I wanted to jump off the ride. Of course, I knew that would be a dangerous decision or move, and so I didn't do that. Another idea was to put some tape on the ride with the word closed printed on it, because that's how mad I was about the ride. Finally, it was time to leave to go to the hotel. The chills were still on my back, and my brother and I went to the beach near the hotel. We made an obstacle course, played some tetherball, and went in making a trail with a stick. Then we played hide and seek. We finally left to go to the hotel after a couple rounds. I took a shower, then Ian took a shower. Then when we were dry, we played Mario Battle Mode. He tried swallowing me, but he spit me out a couple times because he didn't know that you could get out by pressing A. I read a book about England and saw a saying that had said, "Who art thou?" It was so fun to be at Disney World, but we had to leave, and I loved it. We were at Dallas when we were going home. I was so tired I went to sleep. I had a wonderful time at Disney World, but I was tired and it made sense I went to sleep. Note to self, never go to Disney World and stay till midnight on the last night.
Excited St. Patrick's Day by Curtis. This book is dedicated to my mom because I love her. The parade began. We saw lots of people and marching bands. The bands were playing instruments. There were people in the parade that were throwing lots of candy out. One person walked by and said, "Do you want some candy?" I said yes. Then I went up to more people and asked them, "Can I get some candy?" And they gave me candy. I put it in my bag. When the parade was over, I took the candy home.
Night's Action Park Fun by Eleanor. This book is dedicated to my mom, Sister Adeline, Aunt Sally, and Cousin Sydney because they made the fun happen. It was July 16th, and a few weeks earlier, my mom called my Cousin Sydney and Aunt Sally to ask if they would like to go to Night's Action Park with us. They said we would love to come, and they responded. We hopped in the car. I was so excited to go to Night's Action Park. When we got there, we went to our favorite spot. It's our favorite spot because it has shade, and it was a really hot day. A shady spot could do us some good. We only had a short period, about 2 hours and 30 minutes at the park to go down all the slides we wanted to go down, which seemed like a short time because we had so much fun. After we went on a few slides, my cousin Sydney asked, "Do you want to go down that big blue slide with the one area that is red, white, and blue like the flag?" Me and Adeline looked at the flag. I said, "What are we waiting for?" My sister Adeline said, "Sure." So we had to ask if my sister Adeline and me could go down that slide. My mom and Aunt Sally said we could go down that slide. We walked over the slide. We started to climb the stairs for the slide, but we had to stop climbing the stairs in the middle because the line was so long. Even though the stairs were hot and long, I really wanted to go down that slide. When I finally got to the top, I had to wait my turn. When it was finally my turn, I sat down, and when the lifeguard said I could go, I was on the slide faster than you can say, "Hi." When I got to the bottom of the slide, I met with my mom and Aunt Sally. I asked if I could go down that slide a few more times. My mom said I could go down a few more times. After that, we had to leave. I wish we could do it again this summer. Do you want to go to Night's Action Park this summer? The end.
The Scariest Day Ever by Levi. This book is dedicated to my dad because he loves me. Have you ever been lost in Dick's? Well, I have, and it's scary. One Wednesday, Bella Joe's dad and I were driving to White Oaks Mall to go to Dick's Sporting Goods. Bella Joe's dad and I were walking into Dick's Sporting Goods from White Oaks Mall. We walked into the middle of Dick's. Dad said, "You can go wherever you want to go in Dick's." But we started to walk, and Dad said, "Stop!" So we stopped and walked back, and Dad said, "If you need me, I would be looking at the shoes." And Bella and Jonas went with Dad too. I knew he meant just them could go wherever they wanted to go, and not me. But there was this puppet thing that you could play with, but not one of the golf clubs were my size. So this guy there came up to me and said, "If not one of these are your size, you can go get that one over there." So I played for 10 minutes. Then I thought I went to find my dad, but he was not there. But he said he was going to be there. So I went to the front desk and Dick's, and it was a lady. At the front desk, the lady at the front desk asked me a few questions. She asked me, "What's your dad's name?" And I said, "Mike Settles." She picked up the microphone and said, "Mike Settles, please report to the front desk." So she let me stand on the front desk. So I saw Dad walking, so the lady let me go and stop him. So I ran to the aisle that Dad was in and stopped and yelled, "Dad, stop!" So Dad stopped, walked back to me, squeezed my arm the whole way, picking up my brother and sister, then stopped. I learned not to leave my dad again.
Birthday Sleepover by Molly. This book is dedicated to my best friend Mia because she got me to write this story. "Mia," I yelled when I saw her running out of the front door of her house. We were having a birthday sleepover at her house. When I ran in the cherry red front door, I saw Megan and Sydney and Mia standing around just waiting for me in the kitchen. Let's play on the trampoline, Mia suggested. We ran outside. Before we got on, we had to take off our socks and shoes. Mia went to get a ball. It took her a while, so I said, let's go see what's taking her so long. We got off the trampoline and walked around Mia's gray-white house on the soft green grass. We found her in the garage, just standing there, looking around as if she couldn't find the ball. I felt confused. Mia, I said, what about the ball? Oh, okay, I'll get it, she said. All right, meet you on back, I said. Sydney, Megan, and I raced back around to the trampoline. Our shoes were still off, so we all hopped right on. It was one of those big trampolines with a net around it. Mia came huffing and puffing around the house like she was being chased by a mad cheetah. When I get up on the trampoline, here's what we'll do, Mia said. Molly, you floor. Megan, you and Sydney stand in a line on Molly's left side. Megan and Sydney lined up along my left side. No, guys, Mia said, line up like this. So, Megan, you stand right here. She pointed to the trampoline on my left side. Sydney, you stand behind Megan. I'll throw the ball, and when it touches the ground, Megan, jump over Molly and try not to get hit. Sydney, you do the same as her. Megan jumped over me like she was flying. I was scared. What if she fell on me, I thought. She didn't fall and she didn't get hit. I hope Sydney wouldn't fall on me either. I was lucky that she didn't. I don't get a turn, I groaned. All right, Mia said. Megan, you lay down. Sydney, you throw the ball. Molly and I will jump. Yay, I screamed. I jumped. Whoosh. I felt like I was flying. I landed on the black trampoline floor. My turn, Mia said. Fine, I said. After that, I want to do flips. Okay, Mia said. She jumped, higher than me. Now we can do flips, I said. I started to flip. Cake time, Mia's mom said, and then it's time for bed. We ate delicious cake and ice cream. Then it was time for bed. I snuggled in with my friends. My last thought before I went to sleep was, I can't wait to see what tomorrow brings.
Water Skiing by Alex. This book is dedicated to my dad because he said good job. Have you ever went water skiing? Well, I have, and it was fun. I will tell you about this fun time I had. It was a hot summer day. My mom, dad, grandpa were on the huge boat. I was in the water. It was my turn to go water skiing. I didn't get up the first time because my skis did not stay on. I was excited because it was my first time to go water skiing. I popped up the second time. Soon my skis fell off because they did not fit me, but I was still holding on to the rope. It was funny. I was having a great time. I felt like I was going to let go because my arms were asleep. Next I let go, I was wet. I swam and hurried back to the huge boat. I was cold. I just sat on the huge boat and Dad said, good job. I liked going water skiing. I want to do it again sometime because it was fun. I was happy to go water skiing with my mom, dad, grandpa. They had a fun time too with me going water skiing. That was very fun, also very exciting time I had.
A Great Day Swimming by Sammy. This book is dedicated to my brother because he is nice. It was a hot, hot summer day in California. We were bored. My mom's friend called and asked if we wanted to go swimming. My mom drove our family to the woods. We got there. I opened my car door. I did not know where I was. I went down this clear down path with my family. I saw all kinds of trees, a really leafy ground. I walked down the trail with my dad in front of me. There were dirt steps that were steep. I was startled because I was about to fall. Boom! I slipped. My dad caught me. That was close, I said. Finally, we got to the outdoor swimming pool between two big mountains with a stream coming down the middle of the mountains. My brother was the first person to jump in. He climbed up half of the mountain. My brother jumped in. Boosh! He did it, I said. He yelled, "It's really cold." Then I climbed up half of the mountain and jumped in. I felt the air in my face as I cannonballed down. Splash! I made a splash. It was like a giant came and cannonballed down on a pool. I told my dad to jump in. He said no. Then my brother jumped in. He said, "Wow, this is cold." He did a front flip. He swam up to this 20 feet large rock attached to the mountain. He stood on it. I went on it too. Then my mom said, "It's time to go home." I had a great time.
The Day I Went to a Party by Zeke. Yip, yip, yippee, I'm going to the best party ever. It is a party at Destiny's house. My Aunt Destiny's car is my transportation to the party. There was ring toss, laser tag, and everything set up. When we got there, we decided to order pizza. The 3 flavors was pepperoni, sausage, and cheese. Once everyone got here, everyone was standing at the door. Everyone else here was surprised. I gasped and laughed too. Then I said, "A little quick, don't you think?" Finally, Ian got here. Krista, Caitlin, Kylie, and Ian, last but not least, me, shut all the doors. We grabbed a laser tag ring with a laser light on it, and then we said, "Let the battle begin." Finally, it was nighttime. It was time for everyone to go home, and I had to go home also. It was the best day of my life.